Hello, folks. Welcome back. Um, it was another trying day for the Darrell Brooks hearing, as you all probably already know. If you don't know and you're new, I'm from the South. If you can't tell by the accent, the name of the channel, Southern Take. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. I just give you my take on certain situations. You can take it or leave it. It is what it is. I won't be offended if you don't like it. That's cool with me. Um, I understand I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And saying that, I also have to say that we made it. Made it over the hump of 1,000, and I got monetized, which is huge. I'm not can't even begin to tell you. It feels like you're building Noah's Ark with a bunch of toothpicks, but it doesn't matter. I made it. The boat is floating on the water. Hopefully, it don't start. We don't got any leaks. We'll be all right. I was saying that. Okay, on to this trial. Some weird stuff happened today, and I'm gonna get right to that point because it was strange. I'm gonna kind of let this play through, let the judge tell you kind of what happened. I'll give you my position on it, what I think's going on, and we'll go from there. Okay. So let me make sure and this. All right.
Thank you. All right, it's 7:05. We're back on the record. I wanted to advise the parties that earlier today I received information from the clerk of court that she had received an email that the person sending the email had found a post on Justice for Darrell on Reddit, so it's a subreddit. I'm not familiar with how Reddit works, but and that the thread on the Justice for Darrell Reddit site was claiming to be a member of the jury pool. And I am
Just so we're all on the same page, some quote person sent a screen grab of a Reddit thread to the courthouse. Okay, so not the person that posted, a person that saw it.
going to provide the parties with the information that I was given this morning. It's a color copy of the attachment and the email that was sent. The email was received by the clerk of court at 9:10 a.m. Then my clerk received a notification at 9:30 a.m. that the clerk of court wanted to speak with me.
I feel like she said she received it at 9:10. Apparently she saw it at 9:30. So 10 minutes after, or I guess 40 minutes after court started, because it started at like 8:30. Okay.
You may recall this morning I stepped off the bench for a little bit of time. I read through the information that was provided to me, which was an email, and then the attachment, which is a color print off. Looks like the person took a screenshot, and that the anonymous post claimed to be a member of the jury on the case, and here are my thoughts on the trial and on this subreddit. And apparently,
And like she said, just so everybody's to know, posting on Reddit, you're anonymous. So if y'all ever see, Angelina Jolie on there, I swear it ain't me, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, anonymous.
again, it's a subreddit called Justice for Darrell. All those, Justice, the number 4, and Darrell, all, no spaces. I then had contact with Captain Dussault, advised him that this should be investigated, and basically turned over the matter to law enforcement for a full investigation. At this point, or at that point, I made a determination based upon my review of the information that I would not stop what was happening in terms of the trial with the instructions to the jury and ultimately the closing arguments, and then turning the case over to the jury for deliberations. And of course, I am concerned about the integrity of these proceedings, and I will take whatever action that I deem appropriate once a full investigation is done. But at this point, there is no, I would say, credible information that this is in fact a member of the jury. But I will leave that for law enforcement to determine, and if, of course, if need be, at the conclusion of the case, when the jury reaches a verdict, I certainly will consider whether any questioning of the jurors at that point is warranted. So that's the information I wanted to provide. Again, copies of this information will be provided to the parties, and there is a full investigation underway by the Sheriff's Department. I have no further information about it at this time. I will not be the judge that will further be reviewing it in terms of any requests related to that investigation. I will simply be handling whether any requests as it relates to this case in particular. And I hope we have the copies for the parties. And we'll provide those. Go ahead.
I'm making sure you was
Go ahead.
first.
Oh, now he's deciding to be polite. Let's just start with that strange. I was making sure you were done talking. Now, again, this is my opinion, and opinions are like, you know what holes. So let me just put that out there. This is just how I kind of see stuff. I find it kind of convenient that we're at this part in the trial, and all of a sudden we're getting anonymous posts claiming to be jury members on an anonymous board that anybody could post on, acting like they're any damn body. Okay. 2, I can find it really curious that this dude's deciding to be courteous right now, and how he acts. You're like, you know what, Judge? I don't know nothing about this. I just don't know nothing about it. Just so you know, I didn't have nothing to do with it. Okay.
What is this?
Okay.
All I can tell you, sir, is that
What is this? Okay.
there is apparently on the internet, on a site, or maybe it's an application, I'm not entirely sure, called Reddit. There's a subreddit that is entitled Justice for Darrell, and it was on that subreddit that someone wrote an anonymous post claiming to be one of the jurors. That, of course, would be a violation of the rules that I set up for the jurors, which is why I turned over the information to law enforcement so they could make a full and complete investigation.
For the record, I accept for value in return for value these documents. I'm confused.
At this point, sir, I'm providing the information. I trust that the parties will review it, and if a party believes that any request needs to be made of this court, then an appropriate request will be made. But at this point, I'm just advising the parties of the information that I have. And I will add this. I will, of course, it's important that the results of any investigation be turned over to the parties. I don't know how long that will take, but that is also my direction. That was really the only direction I gave to law enforcement, is that the results of the investigation that be turned over to the parties.
Was this? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Was
He just said he was sorry when the prosecution started to talk. Just how he's behaving right now and his demeanor in general. Listen, when you have watched every minute of this damn trial, you learn how to read old Darrell Brooks, okay? Personally, just his feigning of ignorance seems funny to me.
Was this just found out about this morning?
Yes, the email that was sent to the clerk of court was received at 9:10 a.m. And then that email and the attachment, I'm aware of a second email that was sent to our clerk of court at 10:02 a.m. And I think when we stepped off the bench following the case being given to the jury, I was advised that other emails had been received throughout the court system, and I simply said, obviously that information needs to go to law enforcement. I haven't seen it, haven't reviewed it, but any person who works in the clerk of court's office who has received an email will be that email about.
And can somebody please get somebody a Ricola in there, like for for real. Okay. Sorry, but it's like they're in the microphone doing. Anyway, so as you notice, she said first one came at 9:10. Then she says another one came at 10:02. Then she just said further that somebody was blowing everybody up in the courthouse with these emails. So they went to multiple people. That just seems strange to me. Everybody, look, somebody's posting on the Reddit. Is it? I don't buy it.
About this topic will be forwarded to the Sheriff's Department. Their forensic unit is handling the investigation, to my understanding. Attorney Upper, did you have a question or something to state?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to state for the record that I have also received similar emails at my office this afternoon. They were sent not to me directly, but to the District Attorney's Office website. And I only wanted to point out that in viewing the contents of the posting, well, first of all the emails.
So we got that straight. They sent emails to all kinds of people in the courthouse. They sent emails to the clerk's office. They've sent emails now to the prosecutor's office. Think about that. They are trying to get this seen by somebody. Now, to be a good Samaritan, good intentions, sure could. And but I'm talking about the post itself. Well, I'll get it.
Refer to the exact same posting, and the language is the exact same in all the postings. In viewing the content of the posting, we question the veracity of the posting because it refers to things that, quite frankly, are not true. And also, upon reviewing it, Your Honor, we came to the conclusion that it does not exhibit any material prejudice against Darrell Brooks that may affect the veracity of any verdict that may be returned in this case. The posting is largely critical of the court and to some extent the prosecution, but the nature of the posting is actually in support of Mr. Brooks. That's why it's under a subreddit called Justice for Darrell. And I don't believe there's any reasonable reading of this post that would lead someone to believe that it suggests the juror harbors substantial or material prejudice against the defendant.
Thank you. I appreciate the additional record.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
What's it?
Just briefly skimming through it.
You know, he has sat over and read every damn word of that thing, briefly skimming through it. Are you kidding me? Oh Lord, I've spent too much time on this trial. My brain's dead. Okay, it's rotted. It's oozing out my ears at this point.
I do want to state for the record that I have no involvement with this. I'm fairly record that
right there. I apologize. I'm not going back and trying to figure out how to edit out a cough. Anyway, stop coughing, people. You're contagious.
I do want to state for the record that I have no involvement with this. I'm really like.
See that right there. Hey, I just want to state for the record, I have no involvement in this. See the dude behind him. See this look right here. That to me is exactly about how I feel right now. You're incarcerated and solitary. You've complained about not being able to just get online whenever. The fact that he just stated that. I don't know. Hang on. Whew. I'm telling you, whoever is coughing, I've heard this to go on for days. Apparently, it caught on me. Okay. I had to pause, hack up a lung, apparently. Okay, so him saying that to me is fishy as I don't know what. Trying to distance himself from it and act like you don't know what it is. This dude made music videos, right? Right? We saw that in court. Yes, I've watched it, by the way. And he's going to act like you don't know what Reddit is. I don't believe it.
Shocked like this even came to light.
I'm shocked this even came to light. Again, man, okay, I might not be equipped with a lot of stuff in my life, but I think my BS meter is pretty on point, and I am smelling BS coming off.
I will say, just by skimming through it,
See right here.
these are definitely things that have been talked about in the court. So common sense would say that this came from someone that has either been in the court to hear what goes on in the court or a jury member. This is no other.
I mean, not the fact that it's been broadcast on YouTube and court TV everywhere. I have no idea how anybody would ever figure out what's going on in the courtroom. Did y'all know that we've all been watching this whole trial this whole time? Or I don't know, we're all in the metaverse. This hasn't been a Darrell Brooks trial.
Way.
Well, actually,
Because
the proceedings are live streamed worldwide, Your Honor, available on YouTube worldwide, so I don't agree with that
I
assessment.
mean, her face, I think, says it all for the rest of this dude over here that don't never hardly say anything. But like that's hilarious to me. With her face when he says this.
Worldwide, Your Honor, available on YouTube worldwide, so I don't agree with that assessment.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that this would come from somebody who's actually, I think it's pretty clear.
Well, I'm leaving it.
No, dude, it's not. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll let this play. There's something I think I'm going to give you my opinion.
In the hands of law enforcement to do a full and complete investigation. Again, I take the integrity of this process incredibly seriously. And if there were to be a juror who violated the rules, I would take that very seriously, and I will not hesitate to take any action that I deem appropriate. At this time, it is simply being investigated. This was an anonymous post, and if either party believes any further action needs to take place as it relates to this particular jury, then I trust they'll file the appropriate request with the court. So with that, the courtroom, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry. Something else, Attorney Alpert?
A different topic, Your Honor,
Oh,
if
sure,
possible.
go ahead.
While we're all together, I just wanted to address.
Okay, what? Before she addresses that, I'm gonna give you my opinion. Okay. Number one, this is that Reddit thread. It was banned shortly after they closed the court for the day. That Reddit thread had been banned. I had been, and it says this community was banned for repeatedly violating a moderator's code of conduct. Well, you appear to have been in a courtroom, so that might have something to do with it. So I was looking into this because I'm familiar with Reddit. If you notice down below, I've even made a Reddit thread for people here that want to go into a thread and communicate what's happens on this channel. You're more than welcome to. You don't have to, but that's basically what Reddit is. It's a place for people to talk back and forth anonymously. And so you can post whatever. You can post, my name is Spike, you know what I mean, 4732, and then say you're Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? I mean, come on now. So while I was looking into it, I looked into the most active person I could find at the time was this Black Justice Forever person who also made themselves a mod. That's moderator of the channel, right? Now, if I refresh this, I'm scared I'll lose it all because this is the person that was going back and forth the most. And when you create a channel, you can make whoever you want to mod. You can make yourself a mod. You can go make another whole account and then mod that account. Okay. So if you see, he goes back and forth. This one is, which is straight. He comments this person says, "Hey guys, my name is this person post who is fan comfortable 1445, right? That says, hey guys, my name is Darrell Brooks and I'm kind of confused. Why does this sub want justice for me? If this is about my ex-wife, it's okay. I won custody of the dog. Like, it's fine, guys. The judge made her return him to me already. Okay, like making jokes about it or whatever. And this dude comes back, misinformation. and then like this is him responding to people. Why is this an actual subreddit? Somebody was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Because he's innocent." Why is this kind of post allowed? Because they posted a video about him. Genuinely, WTF you talking about? Oh no. Then this person's like, you're an idiot. And he's like, oh no, they discover I live 300 miles away. Talking about they can find out where they are. I mean, if you're not smart enough to have like a VPN, you can be traced through through your, through your, what is it, IPS? I don't know why I'm just drawing a blank on that. And people can figure out where that's what computer you're using, like where it's at, blah 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 blah. Most people don't know that. They just think, oh yeah, I'll make an anonymous account. And then so it just gets on. I find this interesting where it says no racism, because then on down here, like that's exactly what this person is being. I mean, he like, see right here, it says from a white woman, that's music to my ears. Seems like a win to me. Darrell gets a fair trial that way. Oh, it says I'm a member of the jury. So this is where it says I'm a member of the jury on this case. Here's my thoughts. I can't click on this because it will not take me there. It's been banned. Then it seems like a win to me. Darrell gets a fair trial that way. I don't know how to explain to you outside of just watch the trial. What's so hard to understand? And then it says, we will not disclose for OPSEC reasons. We have worked together to verify it in a secure and airtight way, because that's how OPSEC is. We are 99.9% sure this is a juror of the trial. It's to the point where I would be very surprised if it weren't. Okay, sure. Yep. All right then, because you can verify it your way. Okay. The odds have been stacked against him. I mean, it's just it's fandom. Okay. And then they're talking about this African American vernacular English. And then here's this. See, it says, I don't believe it because the system loves to convict black men. I was like, what he did have to do with his skin color? Have any of you ever thought about the color of this person's skin? He ran through a Christmas parade. I don't give a shit what color his skin is. This is keep talking, white boy. And then, I mean, it just kind of shows you where this person's head's at. And the first person to ever bring up race is this guy or gal. I'm going to assume it's a guy, but who knows? It might not be. Then it starts talking about, here we go. Then it starts talking about Jesus. And, well, you don't believe in Jesus, who is Lord. No, you're non-believers. You're no believers. That's what it says. You're no believers. Then it goes on, yes, I do, because you're wrong about Jesus. See, and then it says it's not a racist part towards black rights in a white society. I don't give a shit what color your skin is if you running over people. And it says Darrell is a good man. Does that mean they know him? I mean, this is somebody that knows him personally, member of his family. Is that what this is? How else would you know he's a good person if you don't know him? Huh? Just thoughts. But it goes on and on and on, and all these are in hours. See, on this same thing. And I mean, it goes on and on. You get the point. Okay. So, but it gets down here and, crime about stuff like that. Okay. So, this person that I just showed you, their account was made on the 22nd. They made this account on the 22nd. This is the main moderator of that Reddit thread that she brought up in court. Okay, so again, this account was literally made like 3 days ago. Okay. Now this is something interesting too. I found was part of the exhibits I hadn't seen before. This is literally him behind the wheel with the window down. Look at all that damage to the front of that car already, and he's just looking out the window, driving by like he's, it's disgusting anyway. So this is what makes him guilty, not his skin color. The fact that he drove through a Christmas parade with the car. Look at this damage on the front end of this vehicle and him. Oh, God. But this is why. These are the people that will never get to testify in a court. Look at this lady. She's got on the outfit on. I mean, this is what's heart-wrenching. This man lived 81 years of his life only to be at a Christmas parade and that's how he lost it. This little boy didn't even get to have one. He was 8. So I find it curious that that this Reddit thread made its way into a courtroom. And again, like I said, it was taken down pretty quickly. But that's what happened. That's what happened in court today. It's how somehow Reddit made it to the court. And I don't know if, again, I don't know if these people are smart enough to actually have protected. It was the IP address. I don't know what I was thinking, IP or something. IP address. But they'll be, and they'll be investigated because they're claiming to be a juror on this huge of a trial. But I'll let her finish what she was saying about this other
exhibits and what the court's procedure would be. We have no objection to any exhibits going back to the jury room if they are asked for.
This is, of course, where they say they don't have any objections if the juror brings back any evidence they want to see. And of course, he's like, no, you need to tell me every single time. I need to every time. Okay, and this is happening in court too. This is the prosecution at the very end of their closing arguments. They said a kind of a stitched together video of what happened that day in the parade. There's no audio to it, but this is the first time in the trial I've ever seen the judge actually kind of have a reaction. And again, there's no audio to this. They just play it through. And so everybody's kind of sitting there watching it happen. Right there, she just started it. And they're all going to watch this. And I just found it interesting. The judge and whoever was the camera person here was pretty smart. They left it on her. I think they panned over to Darrell like once or twice. Ain't no problem when he's over there watching it, is it? When he's in that courtroom, he wants to look down or look away or whatever. Over there, he thinks nobody really can see him. He's watching pretty intently. Just want to kind of note that too as well. Now, this woman right here, watch her. She watches this and she has actual reaction to it. Not much of one. You can tell that this would be hard for anyone to watch. See right there where she blinks and then purses her lips together like a little. Kind of looks up a little bit like that. I think she's trying to just keep her composure. I mean, we're human beings. I don't care if you're a judge or a florist or a dog walker. Right there, Steve, she grimaces and kind of presses her eyes like that together watching this. It's not the jury's busy watching the video, and it's not a whole lot, but it's definitely a reaction. Now look at him. Remember when he's over in the court with them, he acted like he couldn't watch this. He acted like, it was too much. He had to shut his eyes and look down and look away and all this other stuff. But he's over there. He has no issue watching it. Now she's not looking at it. This one's getting emotional. He's not looking either. None of these people are. But now the judge is back to watching it. Ugh. See, shut her eyes. Look, Mr. act like he has to look away all the time. He watched the whole thing. I'm curious. Just look right there. You can hear in the background the gallery, the families are back there. You can hear them have an audible reaction about right here. After acting like he prayed out, he's gonna sit there. No, we're not done. We got more to watch. She's the one not watching it. Look at let's see, pans back, she shut her eyes to it. And I think this is difficult for anybody to watch. I just wanted to point this out because, I've not seen this judge react to really anything that's happened in the courtroom except for this. So I found that curious. But, listen, we're almost at the end of this. Ugh. I don't know how long you think the jury will be out. I wouldn't think very long. I think this whole Reddit thing is another um, delay tactic. And I'll tell you what I think. Okay, if you remember back in the trial, whenever they did a raid on Darrell Brooks's cell, they found documentation in there that had been sent to him, I think by Kruger. He was part of some uh, uh, cult or group or whatever you call them, called the Chosen One, trying to coach Darrell in how to use in like the sovereignty argument in court, stuff like that. And they were, again, uh, claimed to be really religious. That's why they call themselves the Chosen One, the one's chosen by God. And then you read some of the stuff that was in that Reddit thread about Jesus, and you're not a real believer in Jesus, and it just to me, it seems similar. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave the rest of that up for you guys to decide. It typically went how you think it would go today. Him doing a bunch of griping and complaining, and then it came his turn to talk, and he did a bunch of crying. And my God, his closing argument about, it's been tough for me. It's just super tough for me. I think about that 8-year-old boy every time he says that. But anyway, I'm gonna drop this here and let me know what you think. Again, thanks, shout out for all y'all's help. I really mean that. It's been a huge hurdle, and you guys helped me get there watching this case. So again, thanks. Comment down below. Let me know how long you think these guys are going to be out, and we'll see what happens. Okay, tomorrow. Fingers crossed, we'll know something. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.